Well. Welcome, ladies and gents, to the first episode of I Have No Idea What I'm Doing. My name is Iris. I am your host, and I'm going to get real with you right now. Right now, we are calling this a confessional, and I'm going to tell you my story. I am a Taurus. I was born in May. I am 30 years old. I'm a single chica living in Chicago. And I just thought the world needs to know what's going on as a trans woman that's single and is 30 living in Chicago and has real problems like everyone else does. So let's get into it. So, this podcast not only is going to be confessionals where it's you and me, sis, we're going to have all the best of the best on there. We have porn stars, we have basketball players, we have football players. I want all the worlds to combine together. We have, honestly, I would love to have family sometimes. We have friends to make it personal. We have comedians. We have so many fun things that I can't wait to show you. Um, let's start with how it started and how I kind of started. So, on my story recently, I was telling people that I have this account for a really long time. This account was originally going to be my Instagram account. Let's clarify. I was originally, well, I guess we could say originally I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to be like a singer-songwriter, pop artist, extravaganza. I was writing for artists when I was in my younger 20s, and I felt like I really hustled, and I would go to LA to visit my brother, and I would book so many shoots where I knew how to hustle. And I'm gonna tell you guys like how to hustle and how to figure it out where it feels like it fits your benefits of getting what you need. And I feel like I did that until I got to where I am now, right? And so basically, I'm going to start with how I started this account. So let's start the story. Basically, I started it when I was in college, and it was a very small account, and I gradually just got bigger. And I went to school for music, and I met all cool people, and I went to Columbia College in Chicago, and I met all these great people, had a fun time, partied a little too hard, didn't really go to school, and I dropped out. And it wasn't for me at the time. And so fast forward to like me being in Chicago, figuring it out, having a roommate who I love, who's still my best friend to this day, guys, and can't wait to bring her on. I then wanted to be a singer, right? And so as I was like writing music, and I was constantly going, this is by the way pre-Iris, like this was in another life, which is like crazy. So and I'm excited to dive into that too and some of my confessionals later on, because I'm just kind of telling you a brief story. I want to get down and deep and tell you who I am, but let's go back. So basically, I was 21 now. I dropped out. I then am like, all right, I'm going to be this singer. I'm going to like write music. I'm going to be a celebrity. I'm going to be a star. I really wanted to be famous, like so badly. Like, and I just like look at that like person now, and I'm like, if I could look at her and be like, you don't want to be famous, like you do not want this, like, and you just want to be you, and that's what it is. You want the fame so badly because you just don't know who you are yet. And so now, like who I am, I could not want the fame less. If it happens through this, awesome. But that's to the core. I just want to be myself and show you guys and tell the world like really cool things. So back to what I was saying. Fast forward to like 21. I'm going to all these clubs. I'm going to like Pilsen. I dragged my friends. I would buy all the cutest clothes. I would be so broke that I wanted to be seen so badly. Like I would be going to Pilsen, to these underground clubs. I would be going to Wicker Park, like at these grungy bars, like grungy bars. And like I would be going to like Boys Town and like just I would talk to anybody and anybody and like be like, hey, like I'm an artist, like here's my music, or slide my demos in, and like I tried everything. And so then it kind of started working, and that's how the following started. And so like I remember like there's this club called Queen, and it's still there to this day. I am like I feel like I'm too old now to go, but I would go every now and then. But I made sure that like when I went there, I was seen, and I made sure that like that photographer that like took pictures that I guess everyone saw later on in Facebook and was posting pictures. I was like, I am going to make sure I'm on that. And it happened, and it was really cool. So what I'm saying is I just like hustled so hard in who Iris was. And I remember at 25, this is where the story gets wild, guys. 25, COVID's hitting. I, make a little career change into like going into the beauty industry. And I was a hairstylist, and we're going to talk about that on another episode. But um, I'm still like figuring out doing music and all that and who I was as an artist. And basically, I go to LA and I start writing music and I'm feeling it. And I remember this is like when Carol Baskin was like really big. And I was like, what if Carol Baskin was in like one of my music videos? Like, just shoot the shit, because I'm like with my producer at the time. I'm writing really, really good music. I finally found a really good producer, and we're like in the studio, I think honestly, probably 24 hours. Like we never slept. Like I would be like, I'll order us pizza. I'll get us anything. We need to make this song. And so now it's so crazy. It's crazy that this whole story happened. So basically, like we're in the studio. We'll go back to Carol Baskin. And I go, guys, like, what if we just started the song with a tiger roaring? My Katy Perry moment, my little roar, right? And so he puts it in, we make the beat. It was fire, guys. Like I was like, the moment we heard the roar, I knew, I was like, this is going to be something. It was just like amazing. So then fast forward to like 2 days later, I'm in doing hair, mixing a bowl, and my client is like waiting, and then I have her like process, right? And then I'm sitting and I'm like, you know what? I really want her in this video. I can feel it. And then again, I was late to the Tiger King like game because Tiger King came out a year before, and then I started watching it later, and I was like, this woman is amazing. Like I need her to be in my videos. So or something. And so I literally went on her Instagram and I commented on everything until she saw it, and I DM'd her and I said, let's talk. And then literally, I kid you not, I screamed so loud at that salon. And she DMs me back and she goes, yeah, let's talk. Like, what's up? And I fast forward, we have the conversation. She gives me her number, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm literally writing a song with Carol Baskin. This is so freaking cool. So then I go to I think it's like 2 days later, I'm at home and I'm living with like another really fun roommate. And I think we scheduled a call, but I just didn't, like, I don't know. I didn't think it was going to happen. Like celebrities just love to say things and then they're like, they're always on their time. So I just was like, this person's probably not going to do it, whatever. And so she calls me and FaceTimes me. Guys, I kid you not. I was like, is this happening? Like, it felt like a fever dream. So basically, she's like in her little golf cart and she's blasting my song in the middle of Tampa with all the other tigers. And I'm just like sitting on my couch, just like eating chips, like petting my cats, being like, is this actually happening? Like, I just was in shock. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess this is happening. So then, I worked with the director on a music video. We rented out Fantasy. I don't know if you guys know, if you live in Chicago, we rented out all of Fantasy, and I had my huge team. Um, we went there, like, we shot for hours, and it was really cool. The music video came out really fun. And she said yes to working within it, and she was in it. And I thought, like, okay, that's it. I'm going to skyrocket. And then I remember, like, 2 days later when the music video dropped, I went to all the clubs in Chicago. I went to literally all the, at least the gay clubs, because I went, God, if the gays love me first, we're set. Like, and so I walk into, like, at Scarlet. I walked into, like, Replay. I walked into, like, Charlie's, and I literally had a UPS, and like, I remember one of the DJs looked at me and was like, this girl is ready. And I was like, I am. And I walked in, like, hiatus mode, because I knew that kind of people knew me a little bit, and I just didn't want to be seen that day. Like, I just didn't care. My goal was to get this song out. And so I remember I gave it to the DJ and I said, play this. I swear people are going to love it. This is going to be big. And so, of course, the DJ, like, puts it on, and I'm, like, waiting for him to put it on, and I'm like, I don't think he's gonna put it on. And the moment I walk out, Disco Girl starts playing, and I'm like, is this, like really happening? Like, my music is playing now at clubs, bars. Like, this is dope. And the music video kind of started playing, and I was like, what is going on? And I thought I was gonna skyrocket. So, like, my friend, and then, like, the night after, we're driving, my friend and I, and we swear we heard Disco Girl at one of the clubs, and it was just so surreal. And I thought, okay, did it, made it, like, ha ha ha. But unfortunately, it didn't skyrocket how I did. And I think I had poor marketing, and that's something that I wasn't really, like, taught. And that's something I'm, to this day still learning. I think marketing is, like, number one key if you want something successful. I feel like we talked about that way too much right now. So let's fast forward to my career goals. And I'm still tight with Carol, though. Carol's really fun. And then we reach the Saturn return era. And Saturn return is usually, I feel like, is when you're 27 to, like, 30. And that is when I transitioned. And I decided to be who I am today. And you know what? Let me start off with, you don't decide being who you truly are. I think you can make decisions on getting your breasts done, glamming yourself up and doing all these things, but it's not a decision or a choice to be who you are. That's how I feel. I think if it's just who you are, then that's who you are. And, like, no questions further, keep it moving. But, then I made the choices of, like, of course, like, getting filler in my cheeks, and, like, getting my lips done, getting my boobs done. And that is in itself an episode that we'll talk about, that I actually have someone really cool that's coming in to talk about it with us, and how it affects girls, all girls around, and boys getting work done, which I'm so excited. I think it's, like, my favorite episode. But, or session. I'm going to call it episode, because I think that this is not just a podcast. It's also, like, we're going to post these on YouTube, and you guys are going to get to see the real deal. So yes, I transitioned at 27, and then, guys, this is crazy. I ended up meeting a guy when I transitioned, which, like, never happens. It never happens. Like, I know so many girls that like, when they decide to do this, when they start the journey of being who they really are, they usually, like, you don't find a man, or either you are dating somebody and, like, they're with you or they're not. And I just remember, like, one of my really good girlfriends was like, you're not dating. Like, you need to figure out yourself first and then go date. I'll never forget that. And to this day, we're still really great friends. And so basically, I go to New York. This is when I make my, like, big announcement, and it's, like, around my birthday. And my birthday's on the day of the Met Gala usually. And I remember I went to New York and I went, I'm going to announce this in the coolest way. truly authentic. And I posted this really cool picture of me in the middle of Times Square. It is so iconic. I'm going to repost it on my Instagram again. And it just said, it was a I'm every woman. That was it. Or no, it was capital woman. And I had I'm every woman playing in the, like, when you choose the song for your Instagram. And it just was so, I don't know, it was kind of powerful. And I remember like people were looking at me and I just didn't care. I felt like I was that bitch. And so that's kind of the day I became who I was. And I had my really two best friends with me, and we just never really looked back. And it's just been a journey ever since. So fast forward to kind of 28, 29, I have this realization of like, I'm so overdoing hair. Um, Boyfriend breaks up with me. I'm brokenhearted, and we will talk about love relationships in another episode, which can't wait to tell you that journey. And um, I then, what was I saying? And then oh my God, I just blanked on what I was saying. Do, 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 do. Wait, okay, I remember. So we fast forward from New York, boyfriend breaks up with me, and now we're reaching 28, 29. And this is when I did a huge career change. And I am not really going to talk about that as much on this podcast because I think that's a little more private. But I'm in school again and I'm loving this choice that I'm doing. And it is now more of a career of what I love. And it's in the education world. I'll just say that. And I think we don't have a lot of representation of people like me in that world, or just like anybody that really is authentically themselves. And I think it's important for, honestly, the little ones to see that they can be themselves and that they're not just there to tell the world who they are. They're there to just be an educator or a teacher or somebody in that world to just help give back. So I'm really excited to kind of finish that era, which is kind of coming soon. School's a lot, but I'm going to keep that a little private because I do think there are some things that you guys don't really need to hear about. But I am going to keep it real with you about dating. I'm going to keep it real with you about how I feel, mental health, and just like everything. So let me kind of actually end it here because I wanted this first round to be a little short and simple and tell you guys how it really is and what you're expecting out of this podcast is I put this on recently in my story for Instagram that mental health is a really big thing for me and that I tend to like run away. And I'm a Taurus, so I think if you people know, if you're a Taurus, we're very patient. I People say we're stubborn. I don't like that. I like to say I am patiently stubborn. So like I can be patient and wait and wait and wait until I most likely get it. But when I don't get it or something happens in life, I explode and I just kind of run away. And that's just something I'm working on as an adult, especially being like a 30-year-old girl now, a woman. And every I think woman can kind of agree with me. Being 30, it just it's awesome. I would never actually I love my 30s so far. But there's this expectation of anybody if you're in your 30s that you have to have it together. And you know what? I'm going to be real with you. At 29, I just said I wasn't going to talk about this, but I'll talk about it for a little bit. I did another career change and now I'm in the education world. And also, I'm starting a podcast. And like, I don't really care where it takes me now. I'm just kind of letting it be. And I just encourage like y'all to just do it. Like, bite the bullet, get up. If you want to wear a cute dress, just do it. Who cares if it's a Sunday or a Monday? If you want to start a podcast, do it. If you want to go join, I don't know, a I don't know, you know what I'm saying, like that's why I think when you're in your 30s you kind of don't care. And I also hear like your 40s are really fun, and excited to see where that will be, where I am in my 40s, because I probably really won't give a fuck. But let's focus on 30s right now. So I kind of got off, but this is me, and this is what you're going to get. And this is the first confessional, and you will get many more, kids. And I'm just excited. Let me finish it with the logo and how I named it. I don't know what I'm doing. I named it I don't know what I'm doing because as I was starting, this journey of podcasting, I originally wanted to name it The Girl in the Bandeau Bra and Sweatpants, or The Girl in Sweatpants and the Bandeau Bra. That's what I think it was. And so, and then I had someone create it who's this like really cool fan art guy, and they killed it, and they made me, and I was like, I love this. Like, I can't just put this to rest. Like, this cartoon is so cute and there's potential here. And I always felt like I was made, honestly, for a camera and to show the world what is up. And so, like, last month I started thinking of like, okay, what episodes I can do, where I can be, because I am really going through it. And I think nothing better than while you're going through it is talking to the world about what you're kind of going through, so that people don't really feel left out. And I also think there are really no girls like me, I guess, in Chicago that are willing to be this open and honest and tell you guys like what's up. And especially like my community, I don't know anybody that is like me, unless if they're kind of in like the LGBT community. And this isn't just the LGBTQ community. I want everybody is welcomed, because this podcast is going to have everybody in it, and we're going to talk about everything. And I don't want to just be viewed as the girl who's the trans, oh, did you hear that trans girl who's a, no, like, that's cool, whatever, but that's just a part of me. That's like not who I am. That's what makes me who I am. Maybe that's what it is. And so I just want to be real with you guys and let you guys know that it's going to be okay. And we're going to get through this together. So I'm going to sign off now. This was really therapeutic, I feel like. And I can't wait to do, honestly, my second confessional with you guys, because I think we're going to talk about dating and how it's like, and how the experiences are similar to a trans woman, cis woman, whatever. I think everybody tries to make it like it's its own category. Honestly, guys, it's all the same. So that will be in my next episode. And so with that being said, this podcast is, I have no idea what I'm doing. And that's it. So I hope you guys loved this little episode, and please comment, tell me what you want to hear. Tell me if you want to come on. Maybe I'll like pick somebody to come on. Like, it's just starting, and nothing better than being vulnerable. And I can't wait until we get to, who knows, season 5. We're just on season 1, and I'm taking you into every journey and every step, every journey, we're going to give it space. No, I'm joking. We're going to really see where it goes, and I'm going to give you my true authentic self and give you what just the world, I think, wants to hear. So with that, have a wonderful day. It is a beautiful day in Chicago right now. Go get tan, have fun, swim in the pool, go get a matcha latte, and I don't know, go hang out with your friends, because we only have 7 more Fridays. I think I saw that on Instagram, until it's the fall, which I love, but I love summer. But just like, think about that. Let that marinate. 7 more days until fall, or Fridays. Sorry. 7 more Fridays till fall. Crazy. All right. I'm out. Have a nice day. Bye.